How's it going, everybody? This is BeatTheBush. Today I'm going to talk about how to run a profitable business. Now you can look at this YouTube channel as a business because I do have expenses and I do have income from AdSense. You may notice that some channels, they may have a really high budget. They can go around buying cell phones and stuff and they can destroy them on camera. Other times you might see smaller channels that does the same thing. They go and buy a cell phone, they destroy it. However, they may not make enough ad revenue back in order to pay for this cell phone that they destroyed. Now pretty early on when I started this channel, I bought this camera over here, Canon 5D3. The body and the lens over here, it costs about $5,000 altogether. If you take out the sign-up bonuses and all the cash back I get from credit cards, it comes out to be roughly $3,500 to $4,000 that I actually have to pay out of pocket for this thing. Now, when I initially bought this thing, I certainly did not make enough revenue in one single month or even 2 single months or 3 single months to be able to pay for this thing. It took many months before I was able to recoup the cost on this camera. Now, I've watched people close to me start up a business and then fail. Now, I've never started up a business, nor have I started up a real company or anything like that. But I was able to observe some things that I would not have done if I were in their place. For example, I had a friend start a business. I think they poured around $200,000 into a restaurant. They renovated it for about $200,000, thinking that they would make enough profits to be able to break even at some point in the future. Now, of course, when you start a restaurant, it might be a little bit slow and stuff, but if you've never done something like that, it might be a difficult process if you don't know the market very well, wherever you open up that restaurant, or you don't know what the demand is or anything like that. So typically people say you need a business plan for something like this so that you can kind of gauge what the market reaction would be, what the demand for whatever that you're offering would be. Now, let's say business is slow and you only make $1,000 a month every single month. Well, it's going to take 200 months to be able to recuperate the money that you put in. So it's very important to know how long a time it will take before you would break even. For my projection, when I initially bought this camera, I thought I would break even in about 3 to 5 years, but little did I know, well, things turned out better and better. Therefore, I was able to completely pay for this camera just from YouTube income alone. Now, for a business, you got to continually invest in it. So therefore, this camera is not the only camera I have. I have a GoPro. I have this thing that you're watching me from, which is a Lumix GX4 with 4K capability. Right now, you can see me in very high definition 4K quality. When your YouTube channel gains enough traction, there will be advertisers that want to send you free products like this and just have you review it and give them to you for free. Now, this product is called a video slider. In the past, I've tried to do something similar to what this product can do, which is basically hold my camera in front of a product and then just kind of, very steadily try to move left and right. But I can see from the video that, I'm shaking a little bit. So this is what this product does. This thing, you mount it on a tripod like this, and it comes with this little phone holder thing. Yeah, you can put a phone in it. But what it's meant for is to put micro four thirds camera or smaller cameras on top of this. And it can be facing one way, and if you have it on this linear setting, it would essentially cause your camera to sort of slide left and right very smoothly. Now, I'm going to first show you what doesn't work. I have a pretty tripod right here, and this is the piece that connects to here. This thing has a rubber layer over here, which is a little bit too soft to work with this video slider. If I connect it like this, you'll see that there will be too much pressure right underneath this cylinder and cause this to warp a little bit. If I extend it fully to the left, you can see that it warps a little bit and it's kind of pointing downwards. And if you record a video like this, you may see the camera go downwards a little bit as it goes towards the edges. You can see how much it flexes as I move left and right based on the horizontal level on that shelf in the back. You can see it kind of tilts a little bit as I move left and right. But overall, this is really good compared to hand holding. Again, I'm going to extend it furthest to the left over here. It still bends a little bit, but it's a little bit better. This is linear mode with my little base plate added to it. You can see it still flexes a little bit, but not as bad. You can see if I put about 2 pounds of weight in here, there's a little bit of play. What this means is that if you have a 2-pound camera sitting on this thing and it's extended fully over here, it's not going to be completely level when it's over here. Therefore, over here, let's say it will be 0, right? And then over here, it will be sort of down, a couple millimeters or something. So in the camera view, you might not be able to notice this, but it's not perfect. there's a little leveler right here. So when you have it mounted on a tripod, it's level, because if it's tilted one way, it's going to start sliding away from you. Now, how does this work? There's actually little belts and gears inside over here that's connecting this thing to this post over here. So as you move it, this post is actually turning at the exact rate so that your camera is facing that way all the time. So if you put a camera over here, it will be in linear mode. It will always face forward. If you put it back one over here to the curve mode, it's going to curve around the thing that you want to video. Now, what I noticed with this curve part is that it has a fixed curvature. So you're not going to be able to adjust the radius of curving around. This is a fixed thing, so you can just kind of fudge it. If you have a product, for example, this dinosaur over here, and you want to sort of, want to curve around it, well, you can simulate it and it would work. You can see how you're supposed to control this thing. You just hold the camera and kind of push it left and right. The T-Rex is looking pretty sharp in this shot. The center object does not really stay right in the center of your view, which is something that you may want to do. That's the drawback of this thing, because you can't really control the curvature. Now, there are other video sliders. They're more bulky because they're linear. So you have a track that stays on the track, and those tracks will not dip a little bit on either side. You can't push it all the way to the left because this will get stuck. You can't pull this anymore. You need it a little bit folded so that you can just pull the camera left to the right. Now, why did I review this thing? This is something I actually need to use for this channel and to review products with. This thing retails for about $200, and me reviewing it allows me to keep this for this channel and use it for future uses. Now, this is a great example of sort of self-feeding whatever business that you have. If you have business income that's coming in, you take less than your income and invest it back in, and it's going to make your business more successful. When you initially start a business, you may need to put some initial capital down. For example, this couple $1,000s, I did not have all that much YouTube income at the time, and I had to just, put it in and just kind of believe that I'm going to make enough in the future to cover the cost of this thing. What I do recommend is to try to go pretty lean in the very beginning, and probably pretty lean all throughout, because you don't want to go, I'm raking in the money, let me just spend like crazy. Because even as a business, you want to have some buffer room so that, if there are downturns or something, that you can, still stay afloat. The next step over is that when you have your business sort of going already, you have some sort of income, it's important to not go all gung-ho about it and go, okay, I'm going to take all the profit and put it back in. You may want to take some profit and turn it into living expenses, or just kind of save it as a buffer room. So you take a portion of your profits and invest it back into your business. Now, what companies like Amazon is doing, well, they really, really believe in themselves. So they take almost all their profit and just kind of pour it back into their own business. That might really cause them to grow a lot. But a lot of business, like most businesses that are profitable, don't run this way. In the case of this video slider, it's eventually not going to cost me anything. So this is even better. Just by running this YouTube channel, I'm able to receive products that I can feed back into producing better and better videos. So all of this has to do with return on investment and also cash flow at the same time. Because if you put a certain amount in your business, you have to figure out how many months will it take you to be able to make that money back. That's a break-even point. And then there's a thing called an ROI, where let's say you put in $1,000 and then you get a return on investment of 10% per month. You get $100 back. So you have to wait 10 months before you can get back the full amount. All of this also depends the type of investment you're putting into your business, because if you're buying equipment that depreciates very, very little, for example, in this camera, if for some reason, maybe a year later that I go, you know what, maybe YouTube isn't for me, then I could actually sell this camera for a pretty good price still. So it's not going to be a complete loss. However, if you renovate a restaurant, you might not be able to sell it for the same price that you put in. You'll be lucky if you get maybe like 50 cents on the dollar. Usually for house renovation, you're really, really lucky if you can get the same price that you put in. So thanks for watching this video. These are just some thoughts on how to run a business and sort of keep a pretty tight ship so that you keep your business profitable. If you're interested in this video slider product, I'll leave an affiliate link down in the video description below. If you're interested in supporting the channel, I have an Audible link down in the video description below where you can get a free audiobook. And if you don't like this audiobook or this subscription, you can cancel it before the subscription expires, and you can still keep this audiobook for free and for life. I also have a Patreon over here where I offer perks such as past spreadsheets I've used in the past videos. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel over here and click that bell icon next to that subscribe button so that you get a new notification whenever I upload a brand new video. Thanks for watching.